Consistency is the quiet force behind every success story. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy, and it doesn't always get applause, but it works. Day in and day out, consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. It's the ability to show up even when the excitement fades, even when the results seem far off. I think about it, no masterpiece was painted in a single stroke, no championship won in a single game. It's the accumulation of small, deliberate actions repeated over time that creates something extraordinary. When you commit to being consistent, you commit to progress, no matter how small it may seem. The truth is, consistency doesn't rely on motivation. Motivation is fleeting, it comes and goes like the wind. One day you wake up feeling unstoppable, and the next you might not even want to get out of bed. Consistency, however, is a choice. It's the decision to keep going, regardless of how you feel. It's putting in the work when no one is watching, when there's no immediate reward, and when the path ahead feels uncertain. Success doesn't knock on your door because you worked hard for a day, a week, or even a month. It comes to those who stay the course, who understand that the process is where the magic happens. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum becomes the catalyst for transformation. It's like planting a seed. You water it daily, nurture it, give it sunlight even when nothing seems to be happening. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, strength is building, and one day, seemingly out of nowhere, that seed bursts into life. That's the power of consistency. It works in silence and reveals its strength in time. Every small action you take, every habit you build, compounds over time. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Miss a day? Don't let it turn into two. Mess up. Start again. Because consistency isn't about never failing, it's about always trying. It's about showing up for yourself, proving that you're willing to put in the work for the life you want. And here's the most important part: consistency isn't just about results, it shapes you. It builds character, discipline, and resilience. It teaches you that you are capable of far more than you ever thought. When you make consistency your foundation, success becomes inevitable. Not because of luck, but because you earned it, one step at a time. Life is full of choices, and one of the most important decisions you'll ever make is whether to chase purpose or settle for pleasure. Pleasure is easy, it's instant, it's convenient, and it feels good in the moment. It's the temporary high of staying comfortable, indulging in distractions, or avoiding the hard things. But purpose runs deeper. It's not about what feels good right now, it's about what will fulfill you in the long run. Chasing purpose requires sacrifice. It means saying no to shortcuts and distractions, even when they're tempting. It means delaying gratification, understanding that the rewards of purpose aren't immediate but are always worth it. While pleasure asks, what do I want right now? Purpose asks, what do I want most? And that difference is everything. Purpose challenges you, it demands effort, discipline, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. It's not about avoiding pain or struggle, it's about finding meaning through them. When you align your actions with your purpose, you stop living for the fleeting moments and start building something lasting, something that defines who you are and what you stand for. Pleasure fades quickly, it's fleeting, leaving you searching for the next fix, the next distraction, the next temporary escape. But purpose leaves a legacy. It's what drives you to wake up every morning and keep pushing forward, even when the path gets tough. Purpose keeps you grounded when life feels chaotic and gives you direction when everything else seems uncertain. Living for pleasure is easy, but it leads to emptiness. Living for purpose is harder, but it leads to fulfillment. It's not always glamorous, and it won't always make sense to those around you. People may question your choices or misunderstand your dedication. But when you stay true to your purpose, you'll find a sense of peace and accomplishment that no amount of short-term pleasure can ever provide. Purpose isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. It's about knowing what truly matters to you and refusing to settle for anything less. It's the quiet voice inside that says, this is who I am, this is what I'm here for. And when you listen to that voice, when you commit to living with purpose, you'll discover a life that's not just good but great, not just successful but significant. Setbacks are inevitable. They're part of the journey, not the end of it. Too often we see setbacks as roadblocks, as signs that we failed or that we're not meant to succeed. But what if we looked at them differently? What if we saw setbacks not as something to stop us, but as opportunities to set us up for something greater? Every setback carries a lesson. It might be teaching you patience, resilience, or humility. It might be forcing you to reevaluate your approach, to dig deeper, or to find a new path you hadn't considered before. The truth is, some of the greatest victories are born from the hardest struggles. The setback you're facing today could be preparing you for the strength you'll need tomorrow. Think about it, a bowstring has to be pulled back before it can launch an arrow forward. That tension, that pull, it's not holding the arrow back, it's building its power. The same is true for you. Your challenges, your failures, And your disappointments are not the end of the story. They're the setup for a comeback that's stronger and more purposeful than anything you've experienced before. But turning setbacks into setups requires a shift in mindset. You have to stop asking, why is this happening to me, and start asking, what can I learn from this? You have to stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as opportunities to grow, adapt, and come back stronger. It's about perspective. The same storm that can sink a ship can also teach a sailor how to navigate rough waters. Setbacks test your resolve. They ask you how badly you want what you're working for. Will you give up, or will you dig in? Will you let the pain define you, or will you let it refine you? Every great success story has moments of failure, moments when giving up would have been easier. But the people who rise above the ones who turn their dreams into reality are the ones who use their setbacks as fuel to push harder, to get better, and to keep going. Remember, a setback is never the final chapter. It's just a plot twist, a moment that challenges you to rewrite the narrative. And when you embrace it, when you see it for what it truly is, a setup for a greater comeback, you'll realize that the only way to fail is to stop trying. You are stronger than you think, and every setback is proof of your ability to rise again, wiser and more determined than before. Dreaming big is where it all begins. It's the spark that ignites your passion and fuels your vision. It's the bold, unfiltered picture of the life you want to live, the goals you want to achieve, and the impact you want to make. But dreaming big alone won't get you there. You can't leap straight to the top of the mountain. You have to climb it one step at a time. That's where starting small comes in. When you have a big dream, it can feel overwhelming. The gap between where you are and where you want to be might seem impossible to cross. But here's the truth: every great accomplishment, every towering success began with a single small step. No one starts with the finished masterpiece. They start with an idea, a plan, and the willingness to take the first step, however small it may be. Starting small doesn't mean thinking small. It means breaking your big dream into manageable pieces. It means focusing on what you can do today to move closer to your goal. Maybe it's learning a new skill, making a connection, or dedicating an hour to your craft. Small steps repeated consistently create momentum. And momentum, that's where progress begins. Sometimes starting small feels insignificant. You might wonder if the little actions you're taking even matter, but they do. Small efforts compound over time, and before you know it, they lead to big results. It's like building a house. You lay one brick at a time, and eventually you have something solid, something remarkable. Starting small also teaches you to value the process. When you take small, deliberate actions, you're not just working toward a goal, you're building habits, resilience, and character. You're preparing yourself to handle the success that's coming your way. Because big dreams don't just require talent or vision, they require perseverance, patience, and the ability to keep going when the road gets tough. And here's the thing about starting small: it eliminates excuses. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect resources. You start with what you have where you are and do what you can. Progress isn't about perfection, it's about action. Every small step forward brings you closer to that big dream. So dream big, let your imagination soar and envision a life that excites and challenges you. But don't let the size of the dream intimidate you. Start small. Focus on the next step, not the whole staircase. Because those small, consistent actions, they're the bridge between dreaming big and achieving greatness. The people you surround yourself with shape your life in ways you can't always see. They influence your thoughts, your habits, and even your vision for what's possible. The company you keep is like the soil in which you're planted. Healthy soil helps you grow strong and thrive, while toxic soil stunts your growth and holds you back. If you spend your time with people who complain, doubt, or settle for less, that energy seeps into your mindset. You start to believe that mediocrity is normal and that dreaming big is foolish. But when you surround yourself with people who are driven, optimistic, and supportive, their energy inspires you. They challenge you to aim higher, to keep pushing forward, and to never settle for less than your potential. Your environment matters. You might have all the talent, discipline, and ambition in the world, but if you're surrounded by negativity, it's like trying to run a race with weights tied to your ankles. Conversely, when you're surrounded by people who uplift and encourage you, it feels like the wind is at your back, helping you move faster and farther than you ever could alone. Think about the conversations you're having. Are they about growth, ideas, and possibilities, or are they filled with gossip, complaints, and excuses? The people you talk to the most shape the way you see the world and ultimately the way you see yourself. If you want to grow, you need to be around people who make you think bigger, work harder, and believe in yourself even when you have doubts. The company you keep isn't just about finding people who inspire you, it's about finding people who hold you accountable. True friends, true allies won't let you settle for less than you're capable of. They'll call you out when you're slacking and push you to do better, not because they're judging you, but because they believe in your potential. And it's not just about what you take from others, it's about what you bring to the table too. Be the kind of person who inspires and uplifts others. The relationships you build should be mutual, with both sides growing stronger because of the connection. Life is too short to waste on relationships that drain you or hold you back. Choose wisely, because the company you keep will either propel you towards your dreams or pull you away from them. Surround yourself with people who remind you of your purpose, who celebrate your victories, and who stand by you through your struggles. In the end, the right company doesn't just make the journey better, they make the destination possible. Faith in the process is about trusting that the work you're putting in today will lead to the results you want tomorrow, even if you can't see those results yet. It's knowing that progress isn't always visible, and growth doesn't always happen in plain sight. Sometimes the most important changes are happening beneath the surface, quietly preparing you for the moment when everything comes together. There will be times when it feels like nothing is working, when your efforts seem to go unnoticed, and the finish line feels out of reach. Those are the moments when faith matters most. It's easy to believe in the process when everything is going your way, but real faith is tested in the waiting, in the struggle, and in the silence. Fear is the voice that whispers you're not enough. It's the shadow that looms over your dreams, convincing you to stay in your comfort zone, to play it safe, to avoid risks. But the truth is, fear is a liar. It doesn't tell you what's real, it tells you what could go wrong. It amplifies your doubts and drowns out your courage, keeping you from stepping into the life you're meant to live. Fear thrives on what ifs. It paints the worst case scenario as if it's the only outcome. But most of the time, the things you're afraid of never even happen. Fear isn't based on reality, it's based on imagination. It's your mind creating obstacles that don't exist, building walls where there should be open doors. The greatest trick fear plays is convincing you that it's protecting you. It wraps itself in the disguise of caution, making you believe it's there to keep you safe, but safety and growth can't coexist. Every time you listen to fear, you trade your potential for comfort. And comfort, that's the enemy of progress. Fear isn't just in your head, it's in your body too. It makes your heart race, your palms sweat, your knees weak. But those physical feelings aren't warnings, they're signs that you're on the edge of something meaningful. Fear shows up when you're about to step outside of what's familiar, when you're about to grow. The key is not to run from it, but to face it head on. The only way to silence fear is to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's moving forward even when you're afraid. Each time you take a step toward your goals, fear loses a little of its power. You prove to yourself that you're stronger than the doubts trying to hold you back. Fear loves to highlight your failures and mistakes, but it never tells the whole story. It won't remind you of the times you succeeded or overcame challenges. It doesn't want you to remember your resilience, your strength, or the fact that you've already survived things you once thought you couldn't. The truth is, fear will always be there, but it doesn't have to control you. It's a companion on the journey, not the driver. Let it ride along, but don't let it take the wheel. Because the life you want, the goals you dream of, the person you're meant to become, they're all waiting on the other side of fear. And once you step through it, you'll realize that the liar was never as big, never as powerful as you thought it was. There's no such thing as the perfect time. Waiting for the stars to align, for the conditions to be just right, or for that magical someday only delays your progress. The truth is, the perfect time to start is now, right now. The longer you wait, the more you risk losing the momentum, the opportunity, and the chance to change your life. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Every day you let slip by is a day you'll never see again. Dreams don't wait for you to feel ready, and opportunities don't pause until you're comfortable. There will always be reasons to put things off: fear, uncertainty, lack of resources, but those are just excuses. The people who succeed are the ones who take action despite the uncertainty, who leap before they're entirely ready because they know waiting only keeps them stuck. Starting now doesn't mean you have to know every step of the journey. It doesn't mean you have to be perfect or have everything figured out. It simply means taking the first step, however small, and trusting that the path will become clearer as you move forward. Action creates clarity. The more you do, the more you learn, and the more capable you become. The time is now, because tomorrow isn't promised. None of us knows how much time we have, but we do know this: every moment we delay is a moment we'll never get back. Life doesn't wait. Your goals, your dreams, your potential, they're all waiting for you to take action. And the longer you wait, the further away they drift. Procrastination is the enemy of progress. It convinces you there's always more time, always another chance. But deep down, you know that's not true. You've seen opportunities pass by, moments that could have changed everything if only you had acted. Don't let that happen again. Don't let hesitation rob you of the future you deserve. So time is now, because the conditions will never be perfect. There will always be obstacles, always challenges, always reasons to wait. But there will also always be the chance to rise above them, to start where you are with what you have, and to make something extraordinary out of today. Every great achievement began with someone deciding to act. Not tomorrow, not when they felt ready, but in the moment they were in. That's the power of now. It's the power to break free from excuses, to stop waiting for permission, and to take ownership of your destiny. Whatever it is you've been putting off, starting that business, writing that book, making that change, the time is now. There's no better moment to begin than the one you have in front of you. Because the life you want isn't waiting in the future, it's being shaped by the actions you take today. Everything comes down to choice, the choice to embrace consistency, to value purpose over fleeting pleasure, to see setbacks as setups for a greater comeback. It's the decision to dream big but start small, to trust the process even when the results aren't visible, and to silence the lies of fear with bold, courageous action. It's the understanding that the company you keep shapes the life you live, and that waiting for the perfect time only robs you of the present. The time is now. Not tomorrow, not someday, but this very moment. Your dreams, your growth, your success, they're waiting for you to move, to commit, and to believe in yourself. Life isn't about avoiding challenges or waiting for everything to be perfect. It's about showing up, staying persistent, and trusting that every step, no matter how small, is leading you closer to the life you're meant to live. So take the first step. Keep pushing forward. Let your faith in the journey, your courage in the face of fear, and your commitment to your purpose guide you. Because the life you want isn't just possible, it's within your reach. All it takes is the decision to start, to act, and to never give up. This is your time. The time is now.